I'll start. I had to start with bad news, but when it comes to transportation, nothing works. You name it, developed countries, developing countries, transportation systems are on the verge of total collapse, and it is time we start revising the idea of a flying car, because this might really change things for humanity within the near future. This is an article appearing in the BBC about 2 days ago, flying cars. A lot of people are highly interested in this subject. It has been in our conscious for a long time. There's about 100 years of history to trying to create flying cars. Ever since we had airplanes and cars, people have tried to combine them into one coherent vehicle that will take us from place to place. These are current developments. On the top you see the Terrafugia. This is a weird hybrid between a car and an airplane. You see below, this is a Dodge attempt. This is a hybrid between a motorcycle and a helicopter. For many reasons, these designs are not scalable, and I will explain later why is that. These are more suitable designs. This more resembles what I think of should be a flying car. But their mistake is they're using fossil fuels, and clearly this is not suitable for a 21st century transportation system. In order to understand how to design a single car, which is a part of a big system, I want to go to a grand system analysis. So there's 3 components to the car system. There's the car, there's the roads, and the infrastructures of the energy. The cars. Traditionally, cars were designed individually. If you have designed a successful model, you could sell tens of millions of it. The Ford Model T, which is credited to start this industry, have sold 15 million cars. The Volkswagen Beetles, 21 million cars. This is the most sold cars in history. The automotive industry. This is probably the most powerful production tool humanity have ever created. Every 1 out of every 6 American is working directly or indirectly for the car industry. This is a tremendous economical power, but they're producing the wrong product, and a lot of it. There's 60 million cars hitting the world's road every year. There's about 2 billion cars in the world hitting these roads. Infrastructures. Infrastructures is one of the most expensive things we are doing with our tax money that we pay. You name it. Tunnels, bridges. If you are unlucky enough to live next to a construction site of one of these, you will suffer for many years. This is taking place, environmentally speaking, this is bad. It could be replaced with virtual roads when using flying cars. And of course, the energy supply chain. We all know it. The car system is almost completely relying on fossil fuels. We know the thing. It's oil rigs, super tankers, refineries, local distribution. Every once in a while something explodes and we get the biggest environmental disaster of our time. And last but not least, these are the 10 causes for death on this planet. The number 10 is car accidents. 1.2 million people die every year from car accident. Now, all the other 9 are biological reasons. This is a man-made genocide that we can solve with technology. And I'm going to go over the technologies that will enable us to solve it within the next few years. I've set 3 design guidelines for whoever wants to design a flying car. First of all, it has to be all-electric vehicle. The reason for that, it will give us much more flexibility in the choice of energy sources. Now we rely on fossil fuels, but in the future we could use renewable energy. Every once in a while comes a new innovation, we could all incorporate it within the design of the car. Vertical takeoff and landing. We want to be able to take off from our backyards, land on the building where we work in. And autonomous control. We have to let robots do the job. I hate to say that, but we are a bad driver. and we are even worse pilots. Yeah. So a lot has been said about drones here earlier today. There's a lot of groups dealing with drones. Lately, they've taken a lot of inertia. The reason for that is there's two main reasons. First of all, the drop of price in battery and the improvement in battery technology. 3 years ago, they couldn't even lift themselves from the floor. Now they can lift small payloads of 2-3 kilograms up to 10 kilometers away. There's also a lot of development in the field of autopilots. This is an autopilot computer you can buy for $200. 5 years ago, you had to have $15,000, and you had to be Lockheed Martin or the Boeing company in order to have one of these. This is a group of Germans that earlier this year have flown a man for 20 seconds using a multicopter. This picture is history. This is the first manned flight of this kind, and I think this is the beginning of an era. There's a lot of research to be done in order to get the comfort quality we have from our cars today. Clearly, some technologies will have, this is the Google self-driving car, LiDAR technology. On the right side, you see this was released about a week ago. This is from MIT, an autonomous robot that kind of flies in a building without avoiding obstacles. The price of this sensor is dropping quite fast. They become lighter, they become better. Well, I'm quoting here Brad. People do not like to be killed by robots. This is not exactly the same way he said it. I couldn't change the presentation. That is true. When it comes to safety, if we imagine these tens of thousands of vehicles flying around, every once in a while something goes wrong. One of them might crash into a city, kill people. So I was looking into airbag technology. There's a lot of development have been done there. I don't know if you remember the last Mars rover, but it was completely immersed in this airbag. If something really goes wrong, you can just, the airbag can blow up. You bounce on the floor a little bit, you might break a limb, but you won't die. And this is a crucial component in the design of this car. Safety, safety, safety.
People don't like having their legs broken by robots.
Yeah, but I'd rather break my leg than break my head. Air traffic control. Some very interesting products have been presented to the market using AI. It's clear that we have to take the people out of the loop. Same here, we have to hand out the job to the robots because they do a better job. So to conclude the whole thing, to my opinion, technology is coming fast to the point we could actually achieve building flying cars. Not only it will be a pleasure, it is our historical responsibility to do so. I've been talking about transportation for quite a while now, the future of transportation, and I would like to address the SU community for this. And I really hope that we'll find the help and the power of raising this, raising the awareness for the possibility of having flying cars within the near future. That's it. Thank you all for listening.